Dad was a hardworking person that was always out of the house at 7 in the morning and back right around 6 o'clock. And he worked as a bell captain at the Key Biscayne Hotel for the majority of my young and adolescent life. I tell you, he was very well known at the hotel. I mean, I think everybody passed through the front door, and he probably greeted everybody that came to work at that establishment. And he used to take me there in the summer and when I was just 8, 9 years old and walk me through and introduce me to just about everybody. He pretty much knew everybody. Everybody knew him. I remember my brother-in-law calling me, and he said that my dad had been shot, and I was hoping that I would get there in time to see him if he was going to expire. It was around 10 o'clock in the morning, and I remember going into the hospital and going into the room. As I was coming down the hall, I remember there being somebody guarding his room. As soon as I saw him, he smiled at me and he shook my hand, and so I knew everything was going to be all right at that point. So, then I talked to my mother, and she told me how her brother had died first that evening. He was the first to die from our family. He died in and around 9 o'clock that evening. Then she told me that my cousin Mark was the next one to die around 1 o'clock in the morning. And then my cousin Eric was still hanging in there, but it was kind of like he was brain dead. We used to have fun together, throwing water balloons on the girls from the upstairs and hanging out, going fishing with them on my uncle's boat. I knew them, I'd say fairly well, just as good as brothers. I know those are like the most relaxing times that I can remember as a kid and as a young adult. You have to think about all the drug influence that Miami had, and I don't think, he had never said, oh, I, knew anybody or that was in that business, but, being a bell captain and having so many of those connections, you would almost think that he would have it more than your average Joe, your average employee at a hotel. I think being in that position, I think he was able to do favors for people, and whether that was like somebody that was in with some kind of shady business, I mean, that's always a possibility. The only thing that I can think is that it was a contract hit that was a mistake. It was like a mistake, because I cannot think of any reason that anybody would want to have my father or my uncle killed. In my heart, I really feel that the person that did this is no longer here. I feel like he has gone past. I don't feel like his spirit is still here on earth. If there is anything, I mean, the only thing that we don't have is that closure. If I'm holding out hope, it's for that. It's for that closure to our family.